All right. Yes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I am surprised myself to still be joining you from Nepal. Yeah. Where we're having all kinds of fun miracles happening this week, this birthday week. The birthday week of Dr. Naram, in which on this call we have so many announcements of some real awesome surprises and events and different things that are happening, and an invitation to join something that we're calling the 1008 Global Contagious Healing Birthday Miracle. Okay. And some of the stories I see, yeah, I got to spotlight Romarishi right now because go ahead, you can put your thumbs up again. Yeah, you're demonstrating the way I'm feeling about it because I'm just feeling the I don't know, the miracle juice of it. I don't know, just like the kind of giddy excitement that we're just right on the edge of some beautiful momentum that will change the lives of people on this planet forever. And today's call, if you're not feeling like at least as excited as I am by the end of today's call, I will be surprised because the miracles that are happening and how it's like so beyond anything I would have ever expected, even myself. I mean, that's one thing that's so fun is I'm enjoying it as much as anyone and just witnessing all of the beautiful things that are happening and feeling the joy of it. 3 years ago, this week, I was with Dr. Ram here in Nepal, and we celebrated his birthday. Actually, we celebrated his birthday at this hotel where I'm staying at right now, and I wanted to be here today as we broadcast this call, and I would have had no idea. I would have had no idea what was coming, and I knew his vision, his mission was to touch every heart and every home on earth with the power of the ancient secrets. And I was excited to be a part of it, excited to honor, that vision because I knew how much it helped me and helped my family. And I had no idea that within less than a year, he was going to transition. He was going to surprise us all, a different kind of birthday surprise, and leave his body, but then orchestrate something well beyond anything that I think he could have done in the flesh. The fact that the book is being translated into so many languages, and just this week, I'm hopeful we're really, really close to announcing that the Spanish book will be ready. We're so close with Russian, so close with Hindi, so close with Japanese, so close with Turkish, and all these languages as they're rolling out to touch lives of people all over the planet. I think you guys saw that the audiobook, the Italian audiobook, was #1 when it was released, which is so cool. But the most fun thing for me is the individual miracles. And I get messages every week from people who they just heard about it. They just read the book for the first time, or they just experienced it for the first time. And I know Lawrence, man, I know he's not, Lawrence, you're not new to the whole experience, but you did listen to the audiobook for the first time. I don't know if you could share your experience real quick, because it's so beautiful what you shared with me.
I will.
Just hey, Lawrence.
Let's say unmute. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I was so delighted to listen to the book because I felt like you were there in the room talking to me. I took it into the chamber and I lied down in the chamber and listened to you, and your voice, your demeanor, the words you're speaking, I can't get that from reading books. Unfortunately, I have a little learning disorder and can't learn from books. It was so good to hear you, and it felt like you were right in the room next to me, holding my hand. I felt so loved by Dr. Naram and the whole community. It was really special. I was really, really moved by how incredible the information was about the ancient secrets.
That's so beautiful, Lawrence. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you for I didn't even know you were listening to the audiobook at all. And so when you told me about that and then just shared your experience, I feel so grateful, that this whole journey isn't even about Dr. Naram. It's not about me, but it's about you. It points you back to yourself, everyone, about what do you want? And now when the world is all shifting like crazy and whatever else was there, I like Lawrence, how do you say going from caterpillar to butterfly?
Yeah, going from mind to heart consciousness to caterpillar to butterfly beingness.
Yeah, going from mind to heart consciousness, from caterpillar to butterfly beingness. And in this transition of the world, so cool that we have these ancient secrets, and some of the stories you're going to hear today, today's call, are so fun. I want to see just real quick, is Patricia Wanjiru on, or Kim Yoon Hyun, or Pravina Narayan? I just want to see if any of them are on the call. You can unmute yourself. Oh, I think Kim. Yeah. Can you turn on your video, Kim? And then I don't know if you're in a position where you can just share, but Kim is one of the people. For anyone who this is your first call, just go ahead and in the chat, just say this is your first time. We want to welcome you here. And Kim.
Yes, it's me.
Oh, good.
Access camera. Okay. Right.
Yeah, good. Oh, good.
Clint, could you make me a co-host?
Yeah, this is a good idea. Just 1 second, Jana. Let me do that.
And John as well, please.
Oh, good. Welcome, John. Welcome, Kim. So please, welcome to this Global Healing Miracle Experience call. Your first time. Can you share your experience of how you discovered the book and what happened as you were reading it?
Oh, well, I think, like you said in the book, whenever the student's ready, the master appears, right? So you're my master at the moment. Can everyone hear me? I feel like I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So because my journey has started like at least 3 years ago, because for some reason I found a book, and the book was written by a monk. He's called Ajahn Brahm. He's in Perth, Australia, right? So when I saw the book and it was written by the monk, I was about to put it down because at that time I wasn't in any mood to go into that spiritual way. But then because he was writing book in such a funny way, so I kept on reading. Anyway, cut the story right to the end. So that from that very first book, it's leading me on to like finding more truth, right? So then your book has happened to me because I was paying like the monthly fee to get the audio book, right? So I sort of kept on compiling up the credit. Like I didn't have enough time to finish all of the books that I bought, right? So when I got so many credits, I said, all right, I'm going to use all of these credits now. So then as I went through the list of all of the books available, I saw the title, The Ancient Secrets, something, your title, your book. So then because I was always like interested in finding the natural way of healing instead of going in the drugstore. So that's why I listened to your book. Now I'm going to buy the paper one as well, because just listening to it alone is not enough. So I'm in the process of getting the paper one ordered, delivered. And I have found your writing was so honest, very truthful, super convincing to me. Nothing in your book was like, oh no, it's not believable. Like how in your book, you at the beginning, you were very skeptical, like you don't believe in it. But then it's leading you on things, the chain of events that started to happen in your life that kept you on the journey. And I was so surprised that you're now just like the next Dr. Naram.
Oh.
That's what you are, right?
No, well, I'm so glad you're on this call, and I'm so happy that you're here. I think it's more appropriate if you just consider me a fellow friend on the journey, and that I'm just so happy to be with you on this journey and to be exploring with you. And I believe I have as much to learn from you as you do from me, and I'm just so glad that you're here, Kim.
And
Where
you
are
know
you
what?
joining?
You're so humble. It's not funny. I get to speak and I get to see an author. Crikey.
Crikey. I love that. Where are you joining from, Kim?
Me, I'm here, Sydney.
Sydney, amazing. It's 1 a.m. for you there.
Yep.
Fantastic. Not only are you joining from Sydney, but we also have one of our special guests on today's call is also joining from Sydney, Nikhil.
Hi, good morning.
Great. Well, I just want to say welcome, Kim. And today I think you're in for a real treat. And thank you for joining the call. Thank you for being with us. Patricia Wanjiru, are you on the call as well? I don't know if you're able to be on the call and share a little bit with us. Let's see if you're.
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic. Wow.
Namaskara. How's everyone? I'm holding the phone.
Oh, good. Well, you're doing a great job holding the phone. Can you share where you're joining from and just a little bit about your journey in discovering the book and what it did for you?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you to you and Dr. Naram and everyone else that that brought these truths to us. I'm in Toronto, and
Oh, got muted there. Just 1 second, Patricia. Let's see if we can unmute you again here.
is that good?
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, it is Siri trying to do her thing. Oh my goodness. Yes, I had gone to get a theta healing session in March, just this year, and Marian Kash, who was the practitioner there, after the session, stepped out of the room and came back with the book, and she showed it to me, and she opened page 88 and said that I think you may be interested in what this book might have to say, and you might be interested in reading it. So I went through page 88, and it was speaking to some of the disturbances that I had gone to get support for. And I couldn't wait to get home to order the book online. And I did it immediately, and it arrived on 2 days later on March 7th, and I started reading it on March 8th. And
oh, that's my birthday.
Oh my goodness, celebrating you. Then it was the best birthday gift you gave to the world and to me. It's just been a homecoming, just pure love, just complete. Oh my goodness, I have no words, Dr. Clint and Dr. Naram. It's just been tears and tears and tears of joy, of letting go, and of just finally finding a space to heal, to heal deeply. And just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you to the community here. It's been a long time coming, and I have searched far and wide, high and low, everywhere, all over, for something pure and authentic, and just shared just with the sweetness of how it is. No convoluted, no fluffs, and not all those complicated things that many people try to make information look so important that you feel it's not for you. This is what these ancient secrets have done for me. I just completed my 28 days of detox this weekend.
Wow.
I am feeling, oh my God, I'm glowing. Believe me, I'm glowing, because On day one, I was so ashen and looked like somebody who had just been thrown on the roadside and left to survive on their own. I feel so nourished by the ghee, by the herbs, by the community, by the love. Thank you. Let me just stop it there before I don't know what else to say, but I am so grateful. And I have shared this information with all my family in East Africa, in Kenya, my friends all over the world. And so Dr. Clint and your team, I hope to see you here in Toronto very soon. Please come, please come. We need lots of pulse clinics all over the world. And I'm here, I'm ready to join your team. Please make use of me as best as you can. And I thank you so much for the gift of this book. And I thank Dr. Naram, Dr. Smita, and everybody else who have been blessed. Baba Ramdas, Jivaka, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me mute. Let me just mute. Namaskaram. Thank you so much.
Let's send a lot of love to Patricia, to Kim, and to anyone else that's new on this call for the first time. You just lit up our whole hearts with so much love.
Thank you so much. I receive it right back, right back to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I love you and I'm with you. We love you and we're with you.
I love you and I'm with you. I have been shy to say that word. It sounds funny. And first when I heard it, it sounded like a cult kind of thing. I have been very resistant to saying it, but I think I can say it now easily. So I love you and I'm with you. My goodness. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh man, Patricia, I was not expecting that my cheeks would be hurting so early on the call from your sharing, and from Kim, your sharing. I love your authenticity, and I love that your heart attracted you into this place. And I think one of the best things about, the book is it's a precursor, and one of the secrets that most people don't know unless you're here on these calls is this community is like, I don't know how to describe it. Again, it wasn't my plan. I wish I could take credit. I can't. It's just the goodness of people that are attracted to this message and this movement. And when we're with each other, there's some magical things that happen. It's like an exponential effect. And I love that you started reading it on my birthday. And I love that today we're celebrating Dr. Naram's birthday week. And we're going to share some details about the 1008 Global Contagious Healing Birthday Miracle. We're going to share some more details about that through the stories of people who are on this call. And I know I'm just so happy. I think I saw Brandy. She's on the call. Brandy will give us an update. I'm just going to spotlight you real quick. Yay.
Hi, morning.
So good to
I just
see
rolled
you.
out of bed.
Good. Now, what's your timing like? Do we have time? We can do the music first.
I have time. Yeah, I
Okay.
have time. My little 2-year-old was up for hours last night, so I just rolled out of bed, but I'm here. And actually Jennifer just texted me that she's going to jump in too.
Oh, fantastic. So good. And really thanks to your sharing last time. We got Jonathan. Yeah, is in the house. We're gonna have a special training on just basically how to be smart online, and how to recognize, just for our whole community. We're so guided by love, we don't even imagine things like this happen. But how can we look out for each other, and also send love to anyone who's doing things that just, it doesn't even make sense to us why they would be doing that. So we have that special training. Now, is Jennifer on already, or I don't see her on quite yet. So as soon as she comes on, let us know. We have such a crazy, beautiful story that begins with Esther Francis in Santa Cruz, that goes to Romarishi and Tara, that goes all the way to Australia, that goes all the way to Spain. And we have this story to share too. But before we go into that, I want us to drop from our heads to our hearts. And it's such a pleasure and such an honor to have Gary Malkin here in the house with us, the one and only, to share an original track that was just barely released. we're going to do it. We've been talking about the Goddess Love Project, which is raising consciousness around how we view women, basically. So we don't just see them as objects of lust or prop up dolls to sell product, is how Romeo says it, but really how we can learn to raise all of our awareness about the Shakti power, which is so invaluable. And just how we're animals, but we're conscious animals. And one of the most important ways to peace is honoring women. And Gary, I think you have a track set ready for us that goes right into this. Is that right, Gary?
Yeah, I do. It depends on how many minutes I have. But first of all, I just want to say hello, community. I've missed you all. I haven't been on for a long time, and I send you all my love. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. And I'm so proud and happy for all the amazing miracles that are happening to all of us and to you. And thank you, Clint, for the amazing work this is. And anyway, thank you. So yes, do I have, how many, the long induction will add more time, but that means what do you recommend? Should I do the long or the short induction? You have a sense, Clint?
I think you can be guided. You're so good at this.
Okay, all right. Well, so I had the great pleasure during COVID to be approached by my spiritual teacher. Her name is Miranda McPherson. I'll put her chat in the window. And I had the great honor and pleasure when she was working on her Kirtan album. I just said, let me produce it. It was my seva. And so 2 or 3 nights a week for all of 2020 and 21, we worked on this album, and I'm really proud of it. I love it. And as all of you know, if you can speak, you can sing. Now, I know that there's a wonderful feeling when we can hear each other sing, but there's this new understanding that singing is a way of blessing ourselves and feeling connected to the field. So as we honor the goddess, we're going to honor the goddess Durga. And my teacher, Miranda, talks about Durga's energy. And remember, the words that we're going to be saying in Sanskrit are vibrationally evoking the spirit of God, of Durga. So I just encourage you to close your eyes and let yourself be bathed as you sing in the kind of a call and response style of kirtan. And it's a great honor to share this track. And like I said, I'll put the link in the chat so you can be able to download it from her website. And here we go. Oh, I have to share. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, I can't share. I'd have to be a co-host.
Oh, sorry about that, Gary. Let me get you set up here.
And I miss you, Clint. You've been on the other side of the world for so long. I miss you so much. Clint and I co-created wisdomoftheworld.com, because wisdomoftheworldwellness.com. And you can all find out about that too. I'll put that in the chat later. Okay, here we go. And I'm just so excited to share this. This has been a 1.5 year labor of love. And I'm thrilled. May this be the blessing and the dedication to Dr. Naram and his birthday and the Goddess Project that Clint's doing with Romeo. Here we go.
And Gary, real quick, right before you start this, are you going to be able to share after this about the new Dr. Naram track that we're going to be releasing soon for the...
Yes, I'd love to. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just park that in your minds because we have a special treat for everyone.
Okay, here we go. Close your eyes and take a deep breath throughout.
Being a graceful human being in our world, especially in these times, requires real strength and courage. To stay present and face what needs to be faced. Whether that be an aspect of our own shadow, some stagnation in our relationships, finding the courage to change and say what needs to be said, doing what needs to be done. Durga Shakti is your essential strength that rises to cut through the crud, bringing a fierce love and a fierce devotion to what's true. So sense the vitality within your body. Feel the very force of life itself, and let these sounds and syllables vibrate through you to help you triumph over delusion, protect us all from harm, and help us to be real and true in this world. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. We bow to the Divine Mother. May the truth triumph over all delusion and liberate us all. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum
I ended it because it goes on another 5 minutes. But I know there's many other things you want to accomplish today, but at least you got a taste of it. And isn't it sweet? I love what I love about this track is there's this kind of, I imagine this kind of regal procession of women, holding offerings on their heads and walking down with this dignity. And there's just this gracious, elegant, feminine wisdom that's in the track that I love. And I hope that reflects in the way the track sounds. And anyway, I loved producing this album. I've never produced a kirtan album before. And it was really fun because I'm an old student of Ali Akbar Khan's. I studied Indian Hindustani music from when I was 20 years old for 4 years. So it's like coming back to my roots, which is wonderful.
You're getting a lot of love. Judy Lamar says, gorgeous, Gary, moved to tears and swaying. Luke, he says, absolutely beautiful and transcendent. Thank you so much, Gary. Mariam says, oh, I love it. Thank you, Gary. Lots of gratitude to you. Just so basically so much love. Can you put the link there so people can know where to get all of them? Oh, good. You did. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. No, she made a significant investment in this, and we're trying to get 800 downloads from her site. Right now, we only have about 250, but she, the whole album costs a lot of money, and I didn't charge a penny. So we really want to support this work getting out there in the world because the world needs it. It's really good. It's called Streams of Grace, Mantra Medicine for Yoga and Meditation. So it's really a beautiful album, and the link shows you the cover. And in fact, I called Romeo Shrestha to ask if we can license his artwork for the cover. And I wish I could show it to you right now. I probably could if I pulled it up, but here, I'll just pull it up because I think it's so beautiful. Check this out. I'm going to share the screen for a minute because this is our beloved Romeo I introduced to Clint a few months ago. And here we go. Visual. Just check out this artwork. We kind of use David Shakapan. And here, do you guys, no, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Sorry.
You just X out of it, maybe.
Here we go. How do I get there? And where it is. Here it is. Yeah, look at that. It's so beautiful. Look at that.
Oh, so beautiful. Yeah.
Streams of Grace, Mantra Medicine for Yoga and Inner Peace. That's it.
Yeah.
And isn't that gorgeous? Romeo's art is amazing. So
it's so beautiful.
And I just want to also say, I just want to be honest about it. I have been struggling so much with my avoidance. I am at a peak of inflammation and discomfort in my body. And for those of you who are dancing with the struggle, I have this conditioned mind that goes to use food as an emotional eating problem, and I eat really well, but it's just not well enough for me. So when I come back, I'm going to try again to start the 30-day program. I've been having a very hard time following my higher guidance. And I just wanted to say, for those of you who might have had that problem, I'm outing myself because I want you guys to hold space for me to step back into the 30-day program because I need it badly. And boy, this little tyrant in me is just wanting to go back to the old way of doing things. And I've been frustrated by it, frankly. So thank you for holding space for the best part of me to come through.
Yeah, well, I just want to raise your hands. Anyone else feel that way where you start something, it's good for you, but then you sometimes need extra motivation to continue? Just raise your hand if you've ever been in that. So Gary, you're speaking something that so authentically that we're so grateful you do. And how about all of us send love to Gary? And as you send love to him in this way, you're also loving that part of you. So Gary, we are sending so much love to you right now from all over the world. We love you and we're with you.
I'm no dummy. I showed up at the right place today, didn't I, Clint?
Yeah. I want to say real quick, Cornelia, I think we reached our max capacity on Zoom again. Is there any way you could go in and see if we can make it so that people aren't getting bounced out? I just want to make sure.
I just sent you a message. If you could look at your message, please. I just sent you one on your phone.
On my phone. Okay.
And Clint, would you like me to talk about, while you're doing that, you want me to talk a little bit about the sleep thing coming up?
Yeah, actually, okay, Cornelia, I'm going to give that to you in a moment, the thing you needed. But I just want to say the amazing thing that you picked Durga. of all things, because Dr. Ram, he would give a coin to people, oftentimes this golden coin, and on there was Durga, you know. And this is
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is a picture of Dr. Ram with his mother. Just yesterday was Mother's Day here in Nepal. And in honor and celebration of not only Mother's Day, but also his birth, I just think honoring the divine feminine in the ways that we do is so powerful. Dr. Ram's story, for those that haven't, or about his mother, if you guys haven't read it already, in chapter 9 is so powerful because it's about, the story is about how, just one second, let's see if I can, am I sharing my screen right now? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, let's see if I can stop sharing my screen. Basically, the story in chapter 9 is about the love for your mother, and how Dr. Ram's own mother had arthritis so bad she couldn't even get out of bed. She had to use the restroom in the bed. And when Dr. Ram said he wanted to help her, he says, "Mom, what do you want?" That's the key question. So whether this is your first time on this call or you've been on these calls many times, asking yourself, and I'm asking myself this question again now, I'm in kind of a period of reinvention, but Dr. Ram asked his mom, "What do you want?" She says, I want to walk. And he says, "Very good. If you could walk, where would you go?" She says, "I want to go to the Himalayas." He says, "Very good." Now at this point, Dr. Ram's father got very upset. He's like, "Why are you cheating your mom? She can't even get out of bed to go to the toilet. What are you talking Himalayas nonsense?" At this point, Dr. Ram got very strict. He says, "No, you need to leave the room now. This is my mother. This is what she wants, not what you want." And then Dr. Ram applied all the ancient secrets. And one of the stories on the call today, you're going to hear about someone who hasn't been able to play soccer for 20 years. The ancient secrets are alive so much today that Dr. Ram's mom not only walked again, but ended up going to the Himalayas. And when she was at the Himalayas, she told him, she called him on the phone and basically was in tears and said, "I bless you. Thank you for giving me this gift. Now I want you to bless the whole world with these ancient secrets." So having the work start with the blessing of a mother is a very powerful thing. I know I see Vinay's on this call. Oh, Vinay, it's so good that you're here. Anytime that we get the blessing of mother, the blessing of Shakti, the blessing in this way is so powerful. Now, Dr. Ram, he said a big part of this work, this ancient secrets, is, you know, the blessings come to us when we honor our mothers. And so on May 3rd, we have the Goddess Love Project, which is originally started by talking about, let me see, I don't know, Cornelia, can you try and share your screen and see if you can, I don't know how to stop sharing my screen. Usually there's a little thing that comes up at the top, but I don't know how to do it right now. Oh, here, I found it, just one second. I want to stop sharing my screen just so I can see everyone properly. May 3rd, originally it started because there's a lot of girls here in Nepal where a lot of these ancient secrets come from. You know, Dr. Ram's master, Baba Ramdas, this is in Swayambhu. It's the monkey temple, actually not far from here where I'm going to go tomorrow, where he learned from his master. And his original master was Jivaka, who was the physician for Buddha, who also was originally from this area of the world. Now, there's so many girls here who, out of poverty, are going into prostitution, and they think that's their only choice, either poverty or prostitution. And we want to make sure they have another choice. And it's not really about poverty. It's not about prostitution. It's actually about consciousness. It's about how can we all lift our consciousness in regards to how we view women. And it's actually one of the healthiest things we can do. A lot of dis-ease on this planet is because that animal programming is a little bit out of whack. You know, it's natural to have whatever desires, but we're animals, but we're conscious animals. And so if we want to feel peace, we need to honor the source from which we came and to see the divine mother in every woman. I just want to acknowledge Devananda on the call a couple of weeks ago. He devoted a significant portion of, you know, his profits of his new business to go towards it. And he made the first donation, which was so beautiful and has helped in such a big way. And so I want to say thank you to Devananda and all those others. So May 3rd, we're going to have that brainstorming call. Now, there's a lot of other things happening this birthday week. On Dr. Ram's birthday, we're actually in Nepal. We're going to feed dogs. We're going to feed cows. We're going to feed some of the homeless people in this area, the poor people in this area. And then we're going to go out on Dr. Ram's, some of his favorite temple sites, and give out 108 books, 108 books and spread. We're going to kick it off. And that was actually because of the donation or the love of Sangeeta. I don't know, Sangeeta, you just amaze me so much. I'm just going to spotlight you just for a second. Yeah, amazing. The love of Sangeeta and her mother. They actually, I don't know, maybe I don't even need to say, I'm probably embarrassing you, but she purchased 400 books to give away as gifts to people all throughout Nepal. It was so beautiful. I just imagining how many people's lives are going to be changed just because of her love, you know. And actually the mission 1008 Global Contagious Healing Birthday Miracle is really, we want to give 1,008 new people a chance to experience what Patricia at the beginning of the call experienced, or Kim, you know, shared she experienced, or Lawrence when he was listening to the audiobook, or all of us, you know, how our hearts have been touched. And it's going to build up. We're building up to the June 1st and 2nd. We're going to have a big, beautiful summit called Ancient Secrets Unstoppable Celebration. 2 days in which the tickets are $97, but anyone who gives this book to someone gets a picture of it with them, then both of you get free tickets to this summit, Ancient Secrets Unstoppable Summit, that will be June 1st and 2nd. And so my intention, or my vision, or my love, the inspiration that came, was that we have 1,008 pictures of new people who get this book in their hands for the first time. And already I've heard from people, one person, he wants to give books to every single member of parliament in the Netherlands in preparation for the clinic that we're going to be doing there. And he has the capacity to do it. There's some people in St. George, Utah, that are holding something called the Warrior of Light. My brother's helping lead this. And on Dr. Ram's birthday, May 4th, they're giving the books away to every single person there, and then helping raise money for the orphan home. And man, it's just already, I mean, even just with Sangeeta, we're more than 1/10 of the way through our goal. You know, just from one person, she's done already most of the work for us. So of course we can be guided by love. It's never about the numbers. It's never about the quantity of people we reach, but the quality of love we put into each interaction. Even if we just help one new person, it's totally worth it. And Dr. Ram would be so happy. But this is, you know, his mission was to touch every heart and every home on earth with the power of these ancient secrets. And so we have the opportunity and the chance during this birthday week and this birthday month. And so we'll give you more details about that. But one of the stories that's so inspiring along these lines is the people, actually, first of all, I should say, Brandy, you're already like head start on that too. How many books did you buy?
50 to start.
50. Man, Gary, with like powerful Shakti women like this in our lives, the world, we are in good hands. I have so much hope for the world.
Wow,
You know?
Brandy, what beautiful gift. Thank you for that, boy.
Hi,
Yeah.
by the way.
So I want to just touch base real quick. Now, Nikhil, I know it's like almost 2 a.m. for you in Sydney, so I want to get to the story. But Brandy, do you still have some time, or you want to share your update first? You tell me.
I guess I'm gonna leave. You wanted me to talk about the thing, but that's okay.
I did. No. Real quick, real quick, we're building up. So also for the summit, you know, for the Ancient Secrets Unstoppable Celebration, June 1st and 2nd, for those people that come, we have a gift. And it's the new track of Dr. Ram. And Gary, can you just share in about like a minute what that is?
I am going to give you 30 seconds of listening to Dr. Naram, and it's a teaser. And here we go. You just hear a minute of 30 seconds.
Namaskar. Now you are going to experience something very powerful. Something so powerful that it will help you to sleep deeper and deeper.
That's all you get. So they
Oh man,
that's a teaser. So we had the most amazing gift, and I'll say, just because I know you have a lot to do today, that we went into the studio. You know, Clint, when you look back, And you think we could have not gone to that studio in Mumbai. It would have been so easy for me to stay with the Panchakarma exclusively. And then we went to this Bollywood studio that did a lot of soundtracks in for the Bollywood film industry. And we recorded Dr. Naram. And when you think about, oh my God, I'm just getting the goosebumps. What if we had never recorded him? I mean, and so this recording, I have to say, is even more powerful than Unstoppable because it goes deep into the subconscious before you go to bed. And literally, Dr. Naram is whispering deeper and deeper and deeper. It's so powerful. And I'm so proud of what we did. And anyway, I just look forward to it being released and all of you experiencing it. And after the June 1 and 2 summit, which I will be a part of in some way, I'm going to present as well as share music. I just want you to know will be released to the world after that, I believe, right, Glenn?
Yeah, that's when, yeah, for the people who come, this will be a gift for them. And then afterwards, it'll be for purchase and released to the world.
Great. I love you and I'm with you. I'm going to go and celebrate the next 7 days with your brother, Clint.
Yeah, good.
It's a Rogers extravaganza. So I love you all and I'm with you. Thank you, Clint, for letting me share.
Love you with you, Gary. Thank you.
Take care of you all.
And now, Gary, actually, there is a group of people starting the detox starting today. Now, I know you're going to be gone for some time, but we'll find some time where we can support you in that. I feel you, and I'm with you, and I want to.
I swear I am up against it, boy. My resistance is so strong. And anyway, it feels like the only way I get it done successfully is if I go to Mumbai, and I know that isn't the only way to do it. So anyway, love you all. Take care.
All right. I don't know if Andrea for Humanity is able to unmute yourself, but she's kind of been leading the effort for the Ancient Secrets Unstoppable celebration summit, and I'm so excited for it. Andrea, you there? Let's see here. I don't know if you can unmute yourself, but also this week she gave me some beautiful news. We've been wanting to get the books into prisons and different places like that. And Andrea, can you share the beautiful news that you gave me from this week?
Yes, namaskar everyone. Sorry. As you see, I'm doing some work here, but yes, it's been my great honor to finally found someone to facilitate getting the books into a woman's jail in Virginia.
Yeah.
And I know the impact this will make on their lives. You know, this is a maximum security place where they're serving 3 to 5 years. Some will soon be released. And they certainly can begin learning the marmas. Of course, they have no say when it comes to their diet at this point, but they certainly can start reading the books, and it's a book club, and they will be learning and reading together, 40 of them. And who knows, perhaps they'll be joining us on future Zoom calls.
That is so cool. That makes me so happy. So through Andrea's effort and through someone that donated those 40 books, all these women will be answering the questions and discovering more. What do I want? And what was the programming that was inside of me? Like all this kind of beautiful healing will happen. And on Dr. Ram's birthday week, what a beautiful thing to announce, Andrea. So anything else you want to say about the summit, the Ancient Secrets Unstoppable celebration, Andrea, before we go to the next story?
Yes, everyone, of course, we'll be gathering together on Zoom June 1st and 2nd to celebrate us, our community, as well as the 2nd anniversary of the Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer book. I encourage each of you to join us. We'll gather in that sacred space and continue to grow together. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thank you, Andrea. And so, the momentum is building from this birthday week, May 1st to May 4th, Dr. Ram's birthday. Actually, another amazing thing happened. Brandy's the one that introduced me originally to Lee Carroll and Monica Muriani to Cryon. And I was on their program. It was a members only situation. Some of you came from that actually. And then it was just so beautifully done. They said, we want you to come on for our Healing Wednesday that's broadcast for free live to the world. And guess what day that it just happens this broadcast is on? I guess if you saw the newsletter, but Brandy, I cannot believe on Dr. Ram's birthday. Talk about global healing birthday contagious.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I want to say everyone is welcome to that broadcast, and also for this 1008 Global Contagious Healing Birthday Miracle. We're actually going to create a web page where there's pictures for each of the 1,008 people that get a copy of the book to start it off. And we're going to try and fill out this whole whole collage of all these beautiful pictures of people from around the world, and then create a video about it, and then building up the momentum to that June 1st and 2nd. Okay, so now Brandy, thank you for being a beautiful Shakti power in my life. And thank you for coming on the call last week and sharing with us about the situation that was happening for your dear friend. And she became all of our friend. I don't know, is she on the call right now? Do you want us to?
Jennifer, are you there?
Jennifer, can you unmute yourself? I don't know if you're on the call right now, if you can unmute yourself.
She texted me that she was on, but I don't know if she knows how to unmute.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. Am I there?
Oh,
There she is.
Hi.
Hi, AB. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to everybody. Really inspirational to hear, this communication around the world of love and kindness and health and beauty. So I feel a lot of alignment and support. Thank you to everybody. Yeah.
Well, Brandy
Yeah.
told us what an impact.
And I'll
you
just
made in her life.
introduce
Please go.
Jennifer's a master spiritual teacher. You can check out what she does at jenniferbutlercolors.com, but she's been a major catalyst in my life and thousands of others all over the world. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have found my life work, my husband, my baby, my family. So she's very, 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 very important to me. And for those of you who weren't on the call last week, I'll just give a brief summary of what happened. But basically, I just had this gut feeling I needed to see her, and I hadn't seen her in a long time. So I drove to see her, and when I found her, she started to unpack something that she said, this is the most tragic thing that's happened to me. For 2 months, I've been dealing with this scandal. These criminals came and hacked my life, my money. They're using it for criminal activity, for child trafficking and guns and drugs. And thank God the FBI are involved, and they're protecting my life savings. And, and as I started hearing more and more of the story, they had her sending money to protect her assets. And they also, they identified themselves as this special division because they handled terrorism of the FBI. And they basically started to cut her off from communication, from her family, from everybody that she trusts. And it was really scary because after 2 months of this, a person had been calling her all throughout the day from different phone numbers, giving her very detailed instructions on how to protect her. And it didn't sound right. So I called one of my friends, ex-CIA, and one of my friends who's an international criminal attorney, and they walked me through the whole scam. And first of all, no FBI will ever have you send your money anywhere without meeting you first. They would bring a document. It would be typed on a letterhead from the FBI. And they said, if you ever get a call like this, you want to verify the person by, first of all, asking for their email and sending them an email and getting a response to make sure that it comes from a .gov. And second of all, the phone number, the name, the badge number, and calling the FBI directly. So these people, basically put her under mind control for 2 months. And this is a very smart, intuitive woman. This could have happened to anybody. I know all kinds of people who have been scammed this way. And the reason that, when I called the FBI and the police to help her, I couldn't even really get a response because they said hundreds of thousands. By next year, millions of people will have been scammed this way. So they don't really have the bandwidth to handle it. And so I just want to also thank this community because, Jennifer had been through so much mind control and manipulation for months that it was really hard to get through to her when we first approached this. And I also want to thank Jerem and his friend Chris and Bob, and the prayers of your community, because after we did the last call, the next morning I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to use these Marma points. I'm going to show up to her house. We had a whole strategy of how to get to you. And really the prayers got to you, because she called me in the morning. She's like, all right, I got it. This is a scam. And so we've been through, we've been going through this process this week, and the scam artist came back and offered her a check from the treasury, and said that he was going, not from the treasury, from the, what was it, Jennifer?
Well,
From
it was
the
a
Federal
treasury
Reserve
check,
Bank,
and
I
my
believe.
job was to go to the bank and show them this check, and then I'd get this letter that would come in, but they were going to shut down all the accounts, and of course I failed doing it miserably. And the bank looked at the check and said, well, where is it for real? You know, a picture doesn't mean anything. And that was the moment that I understood. And then, you know, it was interesting because his voice was always like, you know, a big brother, really helping you. You know, you're going to be, you know, saving the world and catching all these bad people and getting it back at the banks who are deceiving you. And of course, it was all the other way around, but I didn't realize that. But his voice changed, and he got angry about something and was kind of demeaning me. And at that moment, the spell broke. I said, okay, this is not real. It's actually all the other way around. The banks are the ones that really are protecting me. And so at that moment, I, you know, shut down the phone, and now he's called again. But so now I have to do the next thing of, I don't know what it is, changing numbers, protecting everything that I can. So I heard all of you. I heard your prayers for me. So thank you.
Oh, well, this is such a powerful case of Dr. Ram, he calls it Atiti Devo Bhava. You treat the unexpected guest as if God himself or herself has come. And so when Brandy came on the call last week and shared this story, we knew there was some divine gift in it. And, you know, not only we sent you love, but I believe your story will help so many other people. And also, for whatever reason that it's shared in this space. I mean, I was not expecting this story to come in this space. I didn't know that that's what Brandy was going to share, but I know that she's a powerful force of good on the planet, and that when something comes to her, it means that all of us need to be paying attention, you know. And as her brother, I want to do everything I can to support her and love her, and because I know how much she loves you and how much you blessed her life, I feel so much gratitude to you. And so in this space of love, not only loving her, loving you, but also loving, you know, the perpetrators, you know, and what inside of us as humans are we doing inside of ourselves that this still exists on the planet? And how can we come to terms with that? And there's so many elements of this. So I want to say thank you to Jerem and everyone else, that maybe this story can not only help those in this community, but that we can be part of the solution on this planet about compassionate, conscious correction of the situation that shouldn't be like this, you know. So Jennifer, anything you want to share about some insight that you've learned in this process that maybe could help all of us?
Well, I've had the privilege of studying at the University of Santa Monica. And so, of course, I thought a lot about my teachers, and, you know, that this was what I signed up for before I arrived on the planet. And it was how I related to the issue that was the issue. And, you know, so it, you know, there's a time to be by yourself, and then there's a time when you're alone. And it was, you know, I learned that I really have to stay in touch with my friends. And I tend to be more an alone person. So that was really important to me. The other thing is I was in India in 1968. I heard, you know, Gandhi's wife speak.
Wow.
It was a huge, you know, momentous time in my life. And so to be reconnected to you and this whole medicine, this book is very, very exciting to me, because it was an important initiation in my life then. so, but the person who was in touch with me was from India, right? And so there was this whole brotherly way of speaking that was an illusion. And so because I related to him as a very young part of me, like it was more like a 3 or 4-year-old or 5-year-old part of me that was relating to him. That was sort of where I got lost. And it wasn't until like my friends came in and Brandy, and I was able to share with a few people that somehow it was a spell that I was under got broken. So it really was being part of community, right? And now the healing can begin at a whole new level. And just, I think the compassion for him, you know, I don't know if he's married and has children, that was his story, who knows, right? He also was able to buy into, you know, I work with color. He looked at my website, you know, he looked at the whole color aspect. So there were all these ways he had into my personality that were really, you know, a way of connecting, of hooking, creating that hook. And we were in touch morning and night, you know, like he would text me at 5 a.m, 7 a.m. And because he was my only contact, there was another thing that sort of hooked me in. And then because he said, okay, I have your social security number, and the only way that you can get it back is by cooperating with me, and then you'll get a new one. So there was this whole story that I bought into that really wasn't true. So it wasn't until people around me kind of communicated to me, and of course, all your prayers, you know, that something awoke within me at a very deep level, my higher self, right? Connected with my younger self. And then now I've realized what it is, and am starting to, you know, heal and connect with people, and will be part of your network. It's very exciting to be with everybody. So thank you for the healing prayers, and yeah, the healing. Yeah.
If you'll allow us to, I'd love it where, again, you've given us a gift, and people are joining this call live on this Zoom call, but also watching it through Facebook Live and watch the recording. Is it okay if we just send you so much love and gratitude for who you are and for bringing this?
Yeah.
So we just put our hands together like this.
Thank you.
And this is for you, Jennifer. We're just blasting you with so much.
Yeah.
I'll just show you the
Thank
screen
you.
of all the people around the world. We
Thank
love you. We're with you.
Thank you so much. I receive. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And also I love the way you're compassionate with yourself, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Even how you're sharing the story, you're gentle on yourself, you know, and you're understanding of the different parts of you that want to trust and want to believe and want to have hope and so all those things are beautiful things. And then also, okay, this is where I got caught in this illusion. And this is how I got out. And community is such a big thing. I love how Patricia said that she was waiting her whole life to find community that's so genuine and authentic and not making anything bigger than it is. And I think you'll find that here. And I just want to say, welcome home. This is your family as long as you want to. But this is, like Patricia was saying, when we say, I love you and I'm with you, she's worried. It sounds like a little bit like a cult. This is not that, because a cult makes you dependent. But what the ancient secrets do is it makes you independent. It makes you dependent. And that's what we want for everyone. And then also it's so nice to have a community where we support each other in the journey, you know, and even that was a big thing that on the Cryon interview that will be happening on May 4th. A big part of it is, how do we become independent and also interdependent with people that we trust and love. So
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Jennifer, anything else you want to share right now, or Brandy, anything else you want to share right now in this space?
Well, I do want to say, I know Miranda McPherson very well. She's a client of mine.
Oh my goodness.
You know, just the healing of her music. I can't wait to support her, you know, just the connection, and really to thank Brandy again for her, you know, holding me in the highest way possible. and loving me. And she's really, you know, I have 5 brothers. I'm an only girl in the family. And so she's like a sister and daughter to me and means the world to me. And I really thank her for standing up for me. Yeah.
I was thinking about that Durga music because it's all about cutting through illusion.
I
That
know,
is
right?
so cool.
That's what I heard. Yeah, right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to acknowledge that this is, I see it as an offering, a big giant financial offering that was burned in the fire, and burning up karma and burning up a lifetime of things that she had been working on through the deep work that her and I have been doing together through the years. And so I honor that, and I call in financial blessings magnified with the highest benevolent outcome to come back full force right away to Jennifer, and for any media opportunities or opportunities for this story to get out so that we can protect others. And I just wanted to also acknowledge Jerem. Where's Jerem?
I can find him and put him in
Are
the
you
spotlight.
I am here.
I don't know. Jerem, this angel, since our last call, I was saying to Jerem, I was so touched by him because he just showed up like he knows us personally, like calling every day, making contact with different people in the media, and really supporting Jennifer fully. And this was a big issue, you know, from what happened in her childhood, not having a male that she could trust. And so I just wanted to acknowledge Jerem as a man that showed up to support you and to help the situation.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity. And just want to acknowledge a friend of mine, dear friend of 50 years, Bob, who is a producer at NBC, and he guided me to some of the ins and outs of these kinds of situations. He's an investigative reporter and a very wise person. So, just a quick aside here is that I'm not sure if your meeting is still on for Tuesday, but he did say to make sure that you have some law enforcement or someone there to support you Tuesday, just to not be there on your own, as his wisdom in the picture. So, and we could all maybe just bring a pure wish and a prayer for you to have, Jennifer, whatever you need on Tuesday with this situation, which could resolve the entire situation. So that's my wish.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
So much
Brandy has been amazing.
Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, sister. Thank you so much for bringing it to us and then introducing us to Jennifer. I can just tell we're going to love her, just blessed by her presence. So thank you, both of you, so much.
Thank you.
You know, one thing that we do have prepared, and I'm thinking, Jonathan, it would be good if we do it towards the end. Many people in our community are on Facebook or on Instagram or on different things. We want to have some smartness about how we approach things. So we have a little segment that I think we'll save kind of right towards the end of this call, just about how to see when something is a scam or a fraud, how to be wise and who we can ask and how we can support each other in that whole journey. And so, Jonathan, I want to thank you for being here on the call for that. Just because I know some people are in Australia right now and waiting to share. Jennifer, I can't wait for you to hear this story, because even the fact that Brandy gave you the book this week and that, you know, it's just a good example of who knows what will happen from there. We have on the call right now, Esther Francis. And Esther, I don't know, you had your own Aditi Devo Baba moment. Here she is.
Yes, I did. You know, ever since that first miracle call, and then when I inadvertently locked myself out of the house, and instead of panicking, I did panic for a minute, I mean, in all truth, but then I remembered that principle And lo and behold, a dear friend comes by in his car and sees me out front and stops. And the whole thing got resolved. That was kind of the key that said, whoa. And it's been part of my life ever since. But in January, I got the news that my rent was going to go up $850 more than what I was paying, which to me was enormous. And I did panic. It's like Gary said, truth be told, it was pure panic. And a couple of nights where it was hard to sleep, even with Guy, in the navel. However, I just moved in with my son. And what happened? So you're talking about Mother's Day too and everything. And then what happened? I just at the beginning of the call, I'm surrounded by boxes. I'm not unpacked. It's total chaos. However, I opened something that I'd packed and look, I don't know if you can see, this is a picture of me with my son when he's less than a year old in a stroller. And it's now 45 years later. And what happened is that he, on his mortgage, was the name of his ex-fiance. And it just had been there forever, but she needed it off. Long story short, yesterday we got approval that the mortgage request we have, his refinancing, went through with me on it.
I love it.
And my prayers, and then just for another twist for how everything is so extraordinarily synchronized. About a year ago, a man it was when I was first getting involved, and he's also a teacher of mine, which old teacher, Brant Secunda, and he gave me permission to share the story. At the farmer's market, he says to me, we hadn't seen each other because of COVID. And we start talking, and I tell him about my involvement with Ancient Healing Secrets. And he goes, and then he comes back and he says, I know and am friends with and love the greatest healer on this planet. I had this feeling. I didn't say anything. I said, oh, really? Who's that? And of course, he said, Dr. Naram. He had started a holistic thing in Germany, and Dr. Naram was a part of it. And you may have even met him, Clint. I don't know, but yeah, and he hadn't known of the passing. But anyhow, I don't
want to embarrass you, but can you tell me how many years you are? How many years young you are?
My birthday was about 10 days ago, 75 now. He's 75 years young.
Fantastic. And definitely an example of youth. In fact, if Dr. Tom knew you, he would love you so much, Esther Francis, because you are definitely an example of how someone can be 75 years young. And the story, I know, because some people are in Australia, I just want to move it to that. She actually introduced on this call right now are two beautiful people she introduced to the book. And this is an example of, so this is, we're going for the 1008 Global Contagious Healing Miracle. And so this is an example of one of them. And Romarishi and Tara, I don't even know how the conversation happened. Did Esther, she just send you a link, or she talked to you, or what happened with that?
Well, we have mentioned many times that we've known Esther a long time. She came to one of our seminars that we were giving in Woodstock, New York. Esther, was it 15 years ago?
At least.
Yeah, it was at least 15 years ago. And so we've known each other, and we stayed in touch off and on, not frequently, but every so often we would be in touch. And then she had COVID. I'm not sure what month that was.
August.
Yeah, real
August. And she told us that one of the most wonderful things that had happened to her was finding the Ancient Secrets community. And she spoke so highly of you, Clint, and this community. So that was really the stimulus that motivated us to order the book, read the book, And then as soon as we started reading the book, literally on the very first page was the quote that you mentioned so often: I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you. Love will teach you. And when I read that quote, I went, thank God. That is speaking my language. I know that is true, that love will teach us.
Yeah.
And that led to you coming to Mount Shasta and attending our concert there. And every step of the way has been confirmation of the essential truth spoken by all the world's religions. You know, there was a great master, Ramakrishna, Paramahansa Ramakrishna. He's sometimes referred to as the modern Christ of India. And he was a Hindu priest in a Kali temple in Calcutta. But he took up the practice of all the major religions of the world because he wanted to discover that the essence of all of them is the same. The essence of all the world's religions is the same. And earlier in this call, Patricia said when she first learned about the ancient secrets, she was a little afraid it might be a cult. And that is as far from the truth as possible. It's not even a religion. The ancient secrets is not a religion. Yes, it goes all the way back to Jivaka, who was Buddha's physician. But really, what this is all about is an ancient system of preventative medicine that every human on earth can practice, no matter what religion they are. You don't have to be Hindu. Sure, we can listen to a beautiful chant about Durga, but the ancient secrets is not Hindu, it's not Buddhist, it's not Sufi, it's not Muslim, it's not any religion, it's universal truth about how each human being can attain health and happiness. For instance, the Marma points, this ancient science of how you can press upon certain points of the body, that's not Hindu or Buddhist or Christian or whatever. It's your own body. You can learn how to stimulate these points no matter what religion you are. You know, there's a great Siddha in India whose name was Shirdi Sai Baba. And he said, I am not any one religion. I respect all religions, but my religion is love. So when I read that quote in the beginning of the book, it was like, thank God I found someone who's speaking my language, because that's what Tara and I feel. One last point I would just like to make is that the Dalai Lama attended a conference on peace in Vancouver many years ago. And he said that women would save the world. Women would save the world. And when I'm on this call every week, and all these beautiful women of all ages speak their truth, I realized that the Dalai Lama was correct. It's these women, these Shaktis, every woman is a living manifestation of Mother Divine, whether she's a baby or she's elderly. She's a living manifestation of Mother Divine. And Mother Divine is not Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, or whatever. She's universal. She's totally universal. And on this call every week, when the call is over, I'm floating 3 feet off the ground because it's an opportunity to see so many beautiful women like Brandy. When Brandy said she bought 50 copies of the book, I was like, oh my God, I wish I could buy 50. I wish I could buy 1,000 copies and send them to all my friends. So it's these powerful women, Patricia, Brandy, Cornelia, all these women.
And this amazing, powerful woman sitting right next to you who we all love, Tara.
Yes, my wife, Tara.
Yeah. Tara, anything you want to share anything you want to share from your heart before we go to Nikhil? Anything you want to share?
Oh, yeah, we're so glad. I mean, really, we were concerned about this dear one here, that and that she, that you guys really helped her get through that extremely rough period. And we've also had Dr. Steve help us this last month when we were in coughing all the time. And I just wanted to thank you for getting Dr. Naram's teachings out there. And I hear that you're starting the second book, which is so excited about. Yeah.
Well, Tara, this is such a good example of your beauty and your brilliance. Jennifer, you can hear she's just so happy that you're on the call with us, and just sending you love. We didn't know you, but we knew you, and you're in our heart before we even got to see your face. And so thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think that story is so powerful about the COVID. I know you shared it on last call, so we won't share it again, but you shared with so many people. I know Luke is on this call because of you and so many other people. And then Nikhil, who's joining from Sydney. How did this happen? How did you hear about the book from Romarishi and Tara? What happened?
Oh, good Lord. How do I even start? This is, so I don't even know how long I've known Romarishi for, but I've been like, he's like the spiritual rock star in my world. As much as you, Dr. Clint, are like the healing rock star in my world, right? So I'm a little bit starstruck right now. But I've been frequently chatting with Romarishi, over Messenger, and I've been, gently prompting him for ancient wisdom and, help me out with this, I'd love to learn this. And one day Romarishi just sends me this message. He goes, here's this book. It's Ancient Secrets of Master Healer, Dr. Clint Rogers, important book, read it. That was literally the message. And I'm like, okay, this is some ancient spiritual coolness that's coming from Romarishi. So I'm like, okay, literally, like I usually procrastinate things, right? I'm a big procrastinator. But this was okay. This is Romarishi telling me, and and he's spiritual cool. I've got to do what he says. So I went and got the book, and I kid you not, it rarely happens when you can feel your life transforming while reading a book. Yeah. I am not exaggerating this in any way. I am reading this book. I'm doing the exercises. I told you I don't follow books. I read them. I love reading them, but rarely do I follow the instructions. But I went through every single chapter religiously. Like I went through and, did the mama point exercises. I did the journaling exercises, and I was mind blown by the end of that book. I mean, it kept me up till 3 a.m. to finish that book. And then I'm getting on the phone with my partner, who's I haven't seen for 2.5 years because the border closes to COVID, and she's in Mexico. And I'm like, Adriana, like, what do you want for your life? And she goes, why are you asking me this question? And why aren't you in bed? I'm like, I can't sleep. I'm too excited. I'm like, I just feel like, my life's literally changed. And she's like, this is really, really interesting, because for the last couple of years, I feel like I've just been kind of lost, going through the wilderness, trying to figure out who I am. And I thought I was just going through a midlife crisis or something like that, to be honest. But at the end of that book, I was, Dr. Clint, you gave an invitation at the end of the book, reach out to me. Nothing happens by coincidence. I'm like, all right. I've done everything else you've told me, Dr. Clint, in the book. I might as well reach out to you. And I was not expecting a response from you. Right. I was not expecting a response. When I got that response from you, I'm like, whoa, I just got an email from Norval. I'm like, wow. So I was super, super excited. And then honestly, like, it's just been life-changing. I said, the clarity I got from reading Ancient Secrets, I think I wrote to you in the email, Dr. Clint, I think you wrote this book just for me. And I bet everybody on this call feels exactly the same way. It spoke to me, it connected with me at such an emotional, such a deep level. I just have been telling everyone about it. And I went to you know, I went to a cafe recently, and it's an Ayurvedic cafe called Ojas in Sydney. And I was saying, have you by any chance read this book? They said, no. I said, next time I'm in, I'm going to bring this book to you. So they said, oh, why are you so excited about this book? I said, well, and I just told them the whole story. And they were just looking at me like I was like a freak of nature. Like, who gets this excited about a book, right? Who gets this excited about a book? I'm like, really? I mean, I was so excited, and I've been so engaged in the community that I've actually started studying Ayurveda and Siddha Veda as well. And they said, oh, Nikhil, would love for you to share your insights. Every month we have a talk. Would you like to come and talk to us about Ayurveda and Siddha Veda in June? I'm like, cool. I don't know what to say because I don't know enough about it. They said, look, just share your story, share your experiences. And so I'm, you know, lining up to go give my first talk on behalf of, you know, the lineage. So I'm so proud and so stoked, you know. And I just got to say, thank you, Dr. Clint, for writing this book. I will never be able to stop thanking you. You are, as I said, you are the Ayurvedic rock star in my life. Romarishi, I mean, I totally love you and Tara a lot. Like, thank you so much for introducing me. But Esther, you're like the grandmother for me, who, you know, you introduced it to Romarishi, who then introduced it to me. So, you know, mass respect to you. I'm so grateful. You know, really am. And that's exactly how I got Klaas onto it. So to kind of segue, Klaas and I talk every week, and that was what I said to Klaas. Klaas, you've got to read this book. And he's just like, what? Are you serious? I'm like, yes. He goes, all right, I'll put it on my Christmas list. So that's how I got Klaas onto it. Yeah.
Well, Klaas, you're actually the one who triggered this whole call, the whole reason of this call, and the whole idea behind it. And so you're the man of the hour. Thank you for the Facebook post you shared, that then it just was like, put me in the state of awe, you know, of what's happened. And before you share your story, because you didn't know like the lineage of what happened the last couple of months, but any just first impressions as you're hearing the stories that led up to you getting the book and what's happened for you, any thoughts or things that come into your mind or heart?
No, it's pretty impressive. Nikhil, of course, shared a little bit, and I had the pleasure of meeting Romarishi online. We've been talking a couple of times. I've been trying to interview him on a project that I was setting up, which we haven't done yet, and everything is on hold. As I told Dr. Clint just right before the call, my whole business is done. I had to pull the plug. And I hope I do all of your excitement justice, because I'm actually in one of the lowest points that I've ever been in my whole life, and I am making my way out. And thanks to Nikhil and being the friend that he is, and the book and the things that I'm doing, and step by step, I'm seeing now light, and I have a ladder thanks to another friend. I actually made a little bit of money last week, so we could actually calmly and relaxed and with a smile on our face walk through the shopping center. So that was nice, but that's not the reason why you asked me to and what was in the post.
First of all, before you skip past this though, Klaas, I just want to acknowledge your authenticity in this moment. You know, it's real easy when there's a lot of enthusiasm to just feel like you need to, but then part of it's fake, and we don't want that. You know, what we want is real, honest, like what's really happening. And I do know you're at a point in your life in which there's some struggle, things that you were hoping for, a dream that you had. It looks like it may not happen the way you anticipated. And so there's naturally a feeling of letdown or pause, or, you know, that lowness, and that is welcome here as well. And I just want to say there's no accident that you're here. I mean, maybe it's for this whole reason. I'm always surprised, because I think something's happening for a reason, and then find out later, oh, it was a different thing, you know? And so I want you to share the story of your health, your healing journey. And then we have a special gift for you as well in relation to the other thing that you're sharing right now about being at that low point. But first of all, can you share what happened can ancient secrets help with someone's soccer game or football game? You know, this is a question on our minds. You know, can ancient secrets help with this? Tell what happened for you.
So first of all, I start reading the book and I start doing the exercise, Nikhil, but real quickly I was like, no, want to get to the book faster, and then I can actually do the exercise. So I start reading the book, and now I'm reading it for the second time. I'm actually stuck at page 219, which is the whole purpose thing, which makes sense. But that Nikhil and I started talking more. I actually helped him a little bit with the whole decision of, am I going through the whole university thing? Right. Which was great, which was a blessing. And then I actually told him, I was like, I have pretty severe tinnitus and it's getting worse. My grandmother had it, which was horrible. My mom has it and talks about it a lot, and I noticed that I get it more and more. So I wrote an email to Ayurveda asking like, hey, listen, I have problems with tinnitus, and I'm wondering if you have some case studies, or can you help me with this? And I didn't get a reply right away. So I was like, wow, I'm actually not very smart. I should ask Nikhil, because he's right there and maybe he can help me. And he's like, there's Dr. Tushar. And then I got connected and we started talking. And
for this part, I just want to say that, Nikhil, when he talked about discovering his purpose, part of what he's joined is a 3-year practitioner training called the 3-Year Path. And as a part of that, his mentor is Dr. Tushar, who's actually on this call right now. So cool. Dr. Tushar here.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So I started connecting with him, and as I mentioned, like financially, it was difficult. Like they were saying, like, look, it's only $20 to get a session. I was like, I don't even have $20. However, I know how important this is for me. I'll get the money from somewhere. It doesn't matter. And I talked to my wife, and I booked the first call, and we went through the the first impressive thing that I want to share is like, which still blows my mind. This man blows my mind. He look in the screen, look to the left, look to the right. At that point, my brain is going, am I a criminal? Is he taking pictures? Do I need a sign? And then he asked me to stick out my tongue and show my nails. And he just says things about me, right? Dry skin, for example. I was like, he can't see my skin. How does he know? How does he know that when I scratch my leg, it is snowing, right? And we start talking about it tonight, and we start talking about other problems. And he's like, what do you want? Right? The famous question. And of course, the tinnitus thing, look, I would like to listen outside when it's quiet. I would like to listen to birds without my ears going ding the whole time. That's not what I really want. I moved to Spain, and I'm having a hard time connecting with people and making friends. And I know football has always been my thing. I've been playing football since I was 4 or 5 years old. And then I started becoming a goalkeeper, and that's the most important thing. That's why I play so much football with the kids. And I was telling Dr. Tushar, I'm playing football with the kids, and it's great, but it's not the same thing. I want to be part of a team, and I want to connect with people, and I want to do the same thing, but I can't because my back and my shoulder. I have a really bad problem with my shoulder, and I explained it to him. I actually should have gotten an operation. I never got it. And I also have a trapped nerve in my left foot. So even if I play football with the kids, which is fun, then afterwards I'm in a lot of pain, and it just hurts, and I really want this. So we start working. I did the whole detox, and it took me a little bit because it's all new ingredients that I need to buy, and it was difficult, but I found everything, and I started cooking, and I don't like to cook, and now I love it because what I'm eating is delicious, and got excited. But then I started understanding better the mama points, because I didn't understand. And I was like, really, I got to press my fingers. It sounds ridiculous. But I started doing it. And I actually now, because I'm not sticking as well as I should to my detox diet, but I am pressing the mama points religiously, as Dr. Tushar calls it, and visualizing. I was visualizing look, I was visualizing safes and diving and having fun. And Dr. Tushar was saying, look, it's going to take you 3 to 5, 6 months to start healing your back, and to start healing your shoulder, and to start healing your foot. And it's not even 2 months are passed. And last week I played my first game, because the guy kept asking, we don't have a goalkeeper. We want you to come. And it doesn't matter, even if you don't dive, we just want somebody in the goal. And I was in goal, and and I played today as well. So I wasn't expecting to play today, because I thought it's going to take me so long to heal, right? And I'm going to be so much pain. And the only thing I had was sore muscles, which is normal. Like I haven't exercised in forever. Like I have, look, you can see I have no muscle. There's nothing there. And today I was driving back with a guy and he's like, dude, everybody's talking about you. Like when you said again that you were coming again, everybody was going nuts. And we're talking about a team that they're friends. They're a group of friends. There's 40 friends of them. They're all like, this guy is amazing. Oh, we're so happy he's coming again. And oh, we want him to come. And he doesn't have to pay anything. Just tell him to come. And today we won 6-4, 4 goals. Yes, but I made so many saves. Like I actually diving, completely stretching, making saves on the left where usually my shoulder would pop. I didn't even notice, or it would crack, or I didn't even notice it. Nothing. Wow. My back's not hurting right now. My foot is feeling fantastic. Like I have no energy. Like I'm in goal and I have no energy. I have no strength. I have no explosiveness. However, I'm able to smile. One guy, a younger kid that was playing for the first time with us, he shot and it hit me right in the stomach and it hurt. It felt like it hit all my organs and I just rolled back, laid on the floor, but I put a big smile on my face because I wasn't expecting to be able to do this until after the summer. Like I told Dr. Shah, look, if I can be able to pick myself up and start playing in the team after the summer, I'd be happy. I would be thanking you probably for the rest of my life because it's what I want. And I'm already doing it now. And again, I'm not there. There's things that I'm not there, and I actually changed a little bit. So I stopped visualizing the goalkeeping thing because I noticed that every morning when I have to get up, I don't want to get up. I just don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like having an energy to. And this morning, I started doing the mama points in the ears and here. And instead of visualizing the goalkeeping, because I think like I'm there now, instead of that, I started visualizing me getting up in the morning with energy and excitement. And this morning I woke up at 6 and instead of waiting for the alarm to go off at 7:30, I immediately got up. It was the first morning. And I was like, yes, I mean, that was an extra confirmation like this. It really works. And I keep visualizing it and I keep doing it and I keep writing out. It's like, what do I want? And what do I need to do to make it happen? And yeah, it feels, if it's weird right now, right? Because it's like, it feels great, but at the same time, I'm like, there's a big fight going on within me, but still the steps are there and it's just, it's nice. And the one thing that I want to share real quick is that when I read the book for the first time, and I told Nikhil this, and I told him like for 3 days, I felt this love, this peace, and I was so at ease with the kids because I've been yelling a lot at them because of the place that I was at. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is nice. And it went away. And I felt it coming back a little bit right before we were talking. When we were talking about the intention and we were having the minute of silence, I felt it come back a little bit. So it's there. And I know it's there for everybody. It's just so much mud and so much dirt goes on top of it over time. But this definitely, I know now there's a way. And I have to forgive myself and love myself and know that, hey, it's okay. Like sometimes it's just going to take a journey. It's going to take a long time. But I'm young. I got to 125, so I've got a long time to go. So no biggie, right?
Well, Klaas, you touched all our hearts today so much, and we have a gift for you actually. So there's something. The book, before the book was even published, we started something called the Miracle Experiment game. That became the Miracle Experiment Experiences, when you apply 3 of the principles from here and you see what kind of crazy, cool, fun miracles happen in your life. In fact, someone was on the call, was going to share, she had to get off, but it's all kinds of crazy things, financial things, relationship things, all kinds of things. Many of us have been on it, and we're starting the new Miracle Experiment Experience towards the end of this month. And this is our gift to you. I'm just giving this to you from my heart to your heart. I think like you're in the perfect place. You're at the perfect time of your life, and everything that looks like maybe it's something that's not good actually has a gift in it that has equal greater benefit. Like quote, Dr. Ram says, whatever's our heartache, our obstacle, our challenge has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. And through that miracle experiment experience, you'll tell us, what are the miracles that come from it. So in this moment, I want Dr. Tushar to share a little bit about what did you recommend, because he didn't even get the herbs just from the diet and from the marmas. But I want you to share, Dr. Tushar, but before that, before we move from this class, I just want to just have all of us put our hands together and just send you so much love in this moment for inspiring us with your such a powerful example of being totally human, totally present. Getting a blast of love from people literally all over the planet. We love you and are with you, Klaas. And you're not here by accident. There's a reason you're here. And I'm so excited to see how this miracle story continues to transpire. Actually, real quick, Esther Francis, what's it like for you to see, just from one act of love, the ripples going out all over the world, and now to hear Klaas talk about this miracle? Any feedback you want to share from your heart?
From my heart is overflowing, Klaus, and this Nikhil and Luke, and of course Romarishi and Tara. And one of the things that's always plagued me in my life was the feeling that I'm not doing enough or sharing enough. And this is such a teaching that when we love, to let go of that programming of thinking of not the quantity isn't great, like 100 books, yes, but not to just think that, to have it balanced with quality. And as the Dalai Lama said, I'll never forget this saying, never underestimate the power of one. Think of spending the night with one mosquito when we think we can't make a difference or be powerful. So my heart is overflowing with gratitude for this entire lineage, and just ditto to so much of what's been said. I think, Klaus, I think you're going to find this transformation is going to permeate throughout your life. And the most important thing is that you embraced it. The opportunity came, but you said yes to it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's just so that I got from this, because I didn't actually know the story of how you shared with Romarishi and Tara in the first place, but it was actually because you had COVID, Esther, which most of us don't think, oh yes, I got COVID. It's not like we're like happy, so excited. So that's like a good example of a Titi Devo Baba. If she didn't have that sickness or whatever come into her life, that then she had the experience of using the remedy on page 293 and all the things that happened, she probably wouldn't have shared with the same enthusiasm, and then this whole miracle wouldn't have unfolded before our eyes. So whatever is your heartache, your obstacle, your challenge, and I love
and I have to say, not only that, it was really, that was way back in when it was really severe.
Yeah.
And because I'd already been taking a lot of the remedies, I think that also gave me strength, endurance, and context that helped move through the intensity. And I just have to share, because, I love synchronicity so much. This little, I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
It was a gift to me from one of my spiritual teachers that I wear on my body every day, and it shows Durga on the lion. Just the way it's all interlaced together is so remarkable. And I just want to echo Romarishi and Tara, because there's what happens in this community. It's as if everything that's happened in the life previous is making sense in a new way, and that everything is being uplifted. And we're on this tidal wave right now with a new eclipse yesterday, and an incredible conjunction in Pisces with Neptune and Jupiter and Venus, and even Mars is there. So both the popping of the bubble, the delusion, the illusion, the spell that we talked about earlier, and this tremendous grace and connection and inspiration. It's just happening simultaneously. And there's no words for how I feel like Jane and Al, it's like the blessing of being connected with you all. And this lineage is just beyond words. And
Yeah. So
gratitude and grace and love.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Esther. There's one thing I'd like to say to my brother Klaas.
Yeah.
I was touched by your description of being at the lowest point of your life. And even though Tara and I have been serving spiritual masters our whole life, and we've never charged a penny because we didn't want to turn spirituality into a business. The reality, even though it's a great honor, and I'm very happy that people referred to me as a spiritual rock star, the reality is right now, you could say we're at the lowest point of our life. We're on the verge of homelessness. Our car died a couple days ago. We have no money to buy a new car or even fix this car. And our landlord, who's been letting us live in a cabin for 3 months for free because she loves us, they notified us now our 3 months is up and we may have to move out of this cabin, and we have no money to even rent a $500 apartment. So financially, we're at the lowest point of our life, but spiritually, we've never been more inspired, and we have confidence that we're going to be able to get out of this situation. And brother, I just wanted you to know that I can relate completely with where you're at right now, and we're going to make it together. We're going to make it together. Just like you've seen the transformation occurring physically for you, it's going to take place on all levels for you. Just keep going. And we are here for you 24/7. If you ever have any questions, contact us. We love you and we're with you.
Thank you.
Dr. Clint, can I share for a moment? Because I'm part of that ripple from Esther. Can I take a moment? Yeah.
Please do, Luke. And then right after this, we'll go to Dr. Tushar and then Jonathan.
Yeah, I'll just take a moment. And I want to thank Esther. I'm bursting with the desire to thank Esther, because Esther's like the mothership who's created this explosion of sharing, that the ripple effect is going out endlessly. So as we've heard, she shared it with Romarishi, she shared it with Nikhil, who shared it with Klaas, and he shared it with me. And I just took to it like a fish to water, and I've been loving it. And I did a post last month on Facebook about my mung bean soup, and I had a beautiful picture of my mung bean soup, and I just put it on Facebook, and 30 people were saying, please send me the recipe. So with every person who I emailed the recipe to, I attached it. Dr. Naram's, I printed it out, well, I digitized it and sent it to each person. I also told them about the Ancient Secrets community. I gave them the link to the website. And from that, 10 people have gotten the book. 3 have been on our calls. 1 is here today. Another one, Bobby Delamar is here today.
Bonnie, you said?
Bobby Delamar.
Oh, Bobby. All right, Bobby. I don't know if you can,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you feel comfortable turning on your camera, but we'd love to have you just acknowledge that you're here. We love that you're here in any case.
Also, somebody who you communicated with on the Mother's Day post, Dr. Clint, Heather Ford.
Oh yeah, Heather.
From one of the people. I took her to the local spice store to help her get all of her spices for a mung bean soup. So all of this, and the people have been calling me, thank you, Luke, for telling me about this. This is amazing. I'm going to be making my soup. I'm going to be joining the community. So that's all of this. And now they're telling people, and this all is from Esther having the moment to tell Romarishi, and all of this spreading into eternity. It's just been incredible. And last night I gave it to a friend who came for dinner, and she was loving it. And as she's reading it, and she's going to be sharing it with people, I mean, it's just endless.
It's the flow. It's the flow of love.
Imagine what else is possible, right? Like, imagine what else is possible just from us just sharing, like with no agenda, with no desire except just to help our fellow human being out. Just imagine what's possible.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Bobby, anything you want to share since we made you get on your get on the camera? Anything from your heart as you're listening to this?
My heart is always open. So I don't know. Luke and I have been we're on another community. We've been in it for quite some time, and I've just been on this one 2 or 3 weeks, and I just went to see my daughter last week for first time in 3 years because of the COVID, and we had a beautiful time together. She's a chef in a restaurant, and I love her food. I'm a chef at home here, and I just love everyone. I don't know. I'm just here, and I don't know what to say. I don't even need to say anything. I just want to say that in my heart.
Oh, so beautiful, Bobby. Love that you're here too. We love you and are with you. So glad that you're here. I want to say, Esther, amazing. This ripple of love from a single act of love. You don't know how it can literally cross across the planet Earth. Luke, I'm so glad that you share that. I can't wait to hear more of the stories of people you share with and what happens as a result of it. Man, Romarishi and Tara, you guys, just to share the moment that you're at in time right now and the attitude for all of us. Actually, I just want to see a raise of hands from Romarishi and Tara sharing where they're at right now and the attitude of almost curiosity. Instead of like bracing, they're leaning into it. Like, what's coming next? You know, like this kind of joy. Just raise your hand if that touched you in some way. I just want to say thank you for that. Whatever trials we have, the fact that we have a community like this, that we have wisdom like this, that we have our hearts and we can be guided by love and that we can trust that life is happening for us, not to us, is so powerful. So thank you for this living example of letting love guide you. It's so powerful.
Dr. Clint, can we send them a blast?
Yeah, let's do that. Definitely ask them. Of course.
And with Klaas and anybody else in that situation, because
Okay.
I sure know that feeling.
for Romarishi, Tara, Klaas, for Jennifer, for anyone that feels like they've had a hit financially or in their life in any way or going through some transition, we want to say that we love you and we're with you. So beautiful. Thank you, Esther. Esther, of course, when you say this, we're going to do this. Okay. Now, I want to make sure that you get real value from this call in terms of even knowing practically what to do. And so because we have Dr. Tushar, who's been on with us 2 weeks in a row, which is awesome. Last week helped Mati and Mati's sister. You remember that powerful story? Dr. Tushar, what are you doing? You're changing lives all over the world because you invested in yourself to learn these ancient secrets. So first of all, I want to have a Klaas, anything you want to say to Dr. Tushar while he's here with us live?
I think there's not enough words to say anything, let alone show gratitude. I'm immensely grateful. The cool thing is 2 weeks ago, I actually got offered a job by a dear friend of mine from the US. Last week I made my first 2 sales, which was, was really nice. Took a lot of pressure away, and it was nice to see my wife smile and my kids smile while we were walking through the store to buy some food and stuff, and not having to worry that maybe the cashier lady or the bank account gets declined, right? But while I was talking with my friend, he loves yoga and he's into those things. He actually said, look, as soon as you start selling more, you and I are going to go to India. So I know that I will sell more. So I hope that you are prepared for a big bear hug, because that's what I'm famous for. And I might not let you go, just so you know. So thank you, Dr. Tushar. I know I haven't sent in the pictures just because I'm a little embarrassed, because I haven't really stuck to the diet because of all the stress that I have put on myself with the whole situation, and the sadness of having to let go after 4 years of becoming the me I want to be. But it's okay. It will come back, and it's going to come back stronger and better and more beautiful. And just got to regroup. But yeah, I am immensely grateful, and I actually have a gratitude ritual that I do every morning, and you are part of that. So I appreciate
Thank you very much, Klaas.
That's so beautiful. I don't know,
And
Cornelia or someone, can you just put the link for if people want to get a consultation, one of these consultations, how they can get? I just want to make sure people have access. Dr. Tushar, I know I wish we could have way more time to hear from you, because I know you got so much wisdom, but any tips you can share with us about what did you share with Klaas that any of us can do to have more vibrant health?
Definitely. First of all, in my 10 years practice, Klaas is one of the most energetic person I have met. Though he is facing, physical problem, personal and professional problems, still his energy level is very much on the top, as you already seen in this call. And I feel very much delighted to have a consultation with him and whatever advice I give to him, he followed advice to the key. Yeah, he turn here and there like cheat day, like once in a 15 days, but he honestly informed me the same, and we work on that. So having this relationship as a friend will help me to understand or help him in a better way. So in the case of Klaas, when I first consulted with him, I told him to give this facial recognition or turn to left and right, etc. Because that is another tool of diagnosing what is happening in his body, mind, and soul. In Ancient Secret, we definitely believe on the pulse reading, but because of the ongoing situation and lots of online consultation, now we have acquired this face reading method, which is also described in the Ancient Secrets. So with this face reading, tongue, nails, etc., we can identify what doshas are aggravated in your body, and we can work accordingly. So that's why I can diagnose correctly what is his skin problems, then digestive issues, then joint pain, etc. When I first met him, he had lots of issues, especially on the left side of his body, as he mentioned, like shoulder pain, etc. And definitely on this, I suggested 6 tools which are mentioned in this book and which are really helpful to solve all these health issues. So in his case, because of this certain issues, he couldn't follow the 6 tools in totals, but we incorporated whatever tools we can use at that time. So those tools were like diet and murmur points. In diet also, he faced few difficulties that he couldn't find mung beans. Then there are certain herbs or remedies, kitchen remedies which were not available at his place. So Nikhil helped him a lot, and with the help of online search, etc. Yeah, he could collect all this thing and started with the mung beans. He invented different recipes like beetroot soup and broccoli soup, if I remember correctly, and he enjoyed those things a lot. So diet plays an essential part in the way of healing, and with the help of proper consultation, we can guide you what kind of diet you should follow. The second point, which is helpful in his case, are the murmur points. And as he informed on this call, that he is doing this murmur point very religiously and picturing what he wants. That is the most important thing, because getting getting all this physical element or mental elements reduced is the another thing. But what will you do after all this problem will go away? So having that picture clear in front of you will help you to get motivated and work on all these methods with more determination. So he wanted to play a football, and I'm so glad that he could play a match so early in this healing journey in the 2 months period only. I was expecting like it will get 5 to 6 months, but because of the determination and the hard work he has shown, in the 2 months period, he has achieved his goal. So yeah, Klaas, I'm really happy for you. And I'm looking forward to meet you in India soon. So.
And he's probably going to play football with you. So
Yeah.
we'll have a big game there at the IU Talk.
Sounds like fun. I actually, if I may, because I was talking to Dr. Shah and I asked him about the one client I had because he was having a liver and kidney problems, and I was spoken real quick. So I actually shared the book with him. So went back to the United States. He's got it also because he has a son who's got a car accident and had a brain. So the boy is now 19 or 20, but his brain is still at like 10, 11. So that's why I shared it with him to start. So he's now making his goals and starting a little bit with his diet. And I have to speak to him tomorrow, so we'll see how he's doing. But yeah, hopefully that's going to help him with his problem, because they gave him, when we were talking, he said like, oof, I don't think I'm going to be here for another year. And I was immediately like, look, we got to talk to Dr. Tushar. I got to get you in front of him. You got to talk with him, because yeah, I know he can help you. Like there's so much trust that I'd send anybody to Dr. Tushar, to be honest. Like anybody that tells me like I have a health problem or whatever it is, like, look, I write Dr. Tushar and ask him. And I also told him, she unfortunately, and that lady is from the Netherlands, she's like my second mom, and she's struggling with health issues as well. And she said like, look, I just got my blood analysis. And Dr. Shah said, well, let her send it to me. Unfortunately, she hasn't yet, so I got to ask her again. But yeah, I'd let anybody
So, Klaas, on
be
that
known to
note,
Dr. Shah.
yeah, on that note, I just want to share that, providing this book or sharing this book with the other person will make them realize that there are another option. Just following a traditional medicines or whatever famous, they have this ancient secret or the natural healing way, which is helpful, but many people don't know about it. So sharing this book with many people will make them realize that yeah, there is another option, and they may can utilize it to improve their health. So thank you very much, Dr. Clint. Yeah, thank you very much for.
Thank you, Dr. Tushar, for being with us twice. I put the link again, ancientsecretsfoundation.org/consultation. When people book a consultation, not only with Dr. Tushar, but so many of the Ayush Shakti Vaidyas are just so good. And mentors in the 3-year practitioner training, when you book through that link, more money donates to the foundation to help support the orphan kids here in Nepal. So Klaas, not only you helped yourself, but also you helped the orphan kids, and now you're helping so many other people. So thank you so much for that. Man, I could just keep talking with you for a long time. I want to make sure that the miracle experiment experience that's coming up is our gift. And I don't know, Cornelia or someone, if you can put a link for other people that are interested or curious. I know if you're already in the 1-year immersion program, this is already included, and many people are going to join from the crying interview that comes on Dr. Ram's birthday. But I just want to say thank you, Klaas, for being here. And I see that Aaron has his hand raised. I definitely don't want to pass up hearing from you and Heidi. Any inspiration or any feedback as you're listening to this call? And then Jennifer, I want to go to you, and then Jonathan, I want to go to you. So anything you want to share, Aaron and Heidi?
Yeah, thanks, Clint. We just want to share real briefly how powerful this call was, and we've been getting so much from everybody's shares. And what was coming so strong for me was this saying that I love, which is that the next Buddha is a Sangha. And this call is the medicine. And we talk about the marma and the diet and the herbs, but we are the medicine, the sharing medicine. Klaas and Romarishi and Jennifer and everybody is the medicine. You are the medicine. And because we, over the past couple hours, have been healing. And how healed? Because we've come together and we've spoken and we've had authenticity and we've had love. And we continue to take that, and everybody's sharing that. But that was just so present. And so I wanted to, of course, tremendous gratitude for you for creating this container, but for everyone for literally for showing up. And whether they speak or don't speak or share or love, like we are the ones that we've been waiting. And it's, so thank you.
So beautiful. You know, when the inspiration came about the 1008 global contagious healing, whatever that long thing is, contagious healing birthday miracle, at first I'm like, oh man, it's putting me outside of my comfort zone. But on this call, I just more and more excited about those new friends that are going to come into the circle that we learn from, and we grow from their hearts and their healing journey. And it's like, why wouldn't we want to do that? And it doesn't require like stressful effort. It just requires letting love guide us. So yes, count me in for that. You know, and maybe people on the call don't know what Sangha means. Do you want to just share what that word means?
Yeah, Sangha is just essentially community.
Yeah,
And
community. Yeah.
yes, and so, you know, that's what the idea, the next Buddha is the Sangha, is that we're waiting for this one person. There's always been a history of deity worship, and we're waiting for the next Buddha. We're waiting for the Mashiach. We're waiting for Christ. We're waiting for whoever it may be to come. And then recognizing again that we are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the representation of that. We are the consciousness that has been brought forth by these teachers. And so we are the living embodiment of the teacher. And we get to express that in our communication and in our love and in our truth and in our honesty and in our imperfection. And that becomes available when we come together in circle. You know, I have a very dear friend of mine who's a Colombian shaman and leads medicine ceremonies, and everybody, there's this big thing, a lot of people in community are like, oh, you know, coming to the medicine or to the ayahuasca or whatever. And part of what they do is something called a mambiadero, which is the community comes together and sits in circle. And he said, that's more important than the ayahuasca. That's like the necessity to sit in circle and be able to speak and be honest. That's really where the healing comes in. And this is what this has felt like a lot. I mean, all the calls, but today it was just so present. And it was mentioned, you know, that the caterpillar to the butterfly, and, you know, it's the most amazing process in the chrysalis. The caterpillar liquefies and these new imaginal cells pop up, bond together, and then create the fullest expression of this thing. And we are the imaginal cells. Each one of us is awakening to our full potential. And maybe getting a lot of hate or a lot of shade or a lot of challenge from around us, but then we bond together with the other awakening cells. And when that bond forms, it's unbreakable. There's no way that in any logical rationalization that a primordial goop can have new cells open up and then connect together to create an entirely different expression of a creature. And that's what we're doing. We're literally watching it unfold right now as we're talking. Each person is another imaginal cell, and each time we send them love, we strengthen our bond together more, you know, that is leading in towards our emergence of whatever our collective butterfly looks like. And we have found consciousness to be aware of it while it's happening, which adds to, which I see so much in you, Clint, of that true like awe and joy of like, wow, you know, stories. And that's such a beautiful teaching of that connection. And then I can come on and talk about it and rationalize that. And then it just keeps unfolding. And then we send more love, you know, it's a beautiful experience. We get to take that and integrate it with everyone around us, ourselves. But it's such potent medicine.
Heidi, I saw you excited. Was there a butterfly that flew through just now?
We outside at the start of the call, we're sitting on our patio and we just planted a butterfly garden with the kids yesterday and went to the nursery and found all these plants that would attract butterflies. So hearing you say that, I just realized how powerful that is. And I just wanted to share, Clint, that I'm wearing my Durga and I wear it almost daily. It's like such a gift that I consider from Dr. Narama's our wedding gift when you did the Pulse Clinic for us. So it's just a reminder of that strength and that truth and that beauty of the Divine Mother. So thank you for that and for for all you do.
Yeah.
Thank you both for sharing. I want to go, Jennifer, you're just inspiring all of us by being on this call. And any thoughts as you've heard all the stories? And we have one more sharing, which I'm so excited about, but I want to give you a chance to reflect anything that's in your heart in this moment.
Yeah, to bring it all together for me. So, I want to acknowledge Muktananda. So I lived in the ashram in Santa Monica, and he's the one that really brought me the color work. It was totally unexpected. We had a roommate moved in and said, I've had my colors done and it's by this person. And, I interviewed with her and she said, I can't train you because, your cup is full. So I feel now I get to empty the cup, right? And this is full circle for me because living in the ashram, my job was to wake up at 3:30 and chop all the vegetables that went into the sour cereal. So I'm so excited to just be with all this medicine on so many levels of my life and just to be part of this magical community of healing, really healing myself and the planet. So thank you. It's been a privilege.
It's funny you mentioned Muktananda because also Dr. Naram knew that whole beautiful community in
Yes.
Kaneshwari and knew very well many of them. So that's so beautiful you brought that in here too. And
Yeah,
Jennifer,
yeah.
I'm so thankful that you're here because also
Yes.
you sparked this next sharing. Well, first of all, Klaas, talk about next Buddha's Asanga. I see Bettina Carey. She says, Klaas, what are you now selling so that I may help connect you to possible customers? And she put her email address and her phone number. And I want to say that Bettina Carey is one of the most powerful connectors that I've ever met. She has a beautiful program that she has people on. So that is also a miracle in itself. I love that, Bettina. Thank you so much. Jennifer, right now we have coming on Jonathan DeLise, who's one of my, I don't know, he's totally an angel. I don't even know if he's I just asked him because of what Brandy shared last time, just to come on the call, because a lot of us in this community, maybe we have some years, some wisdom, but we don't really understand technology so much, and some other things happen in the space. Now, Jonathan, I know we're like way longer on the call than you ever anticipated, or I anticipated either. So, but I want you to share from your heart, actually, first of all, any reflection on the call so far, and then any wisdom or insight, and then maybe we can set a special time where we can go more in depth on a lot of the tips about really how to support each other, how to love each other, and how to protect each other as well.
Sure. Actually, one of the things that came to me while Gary was going through sharing that special music, it was interesting. I saw a picture of the yin yang in my mind, and then I saw it in different forms of, especially from a guy standpoint, and being very, I'd say, growing up in an overly masculine society that really pushes that and pushes, big boys don't cry, all of that. I saw the masculine side of that, basically pushing, with the feminine side being sort of just weak and being pushed by the masculine, because everything is energy and cyclical and it rotates. And so there's movement. Everything is constant movement. But when you have the feminine for a man, when you have the feminine side weak, you're not at your fullest potential. You don't have the energy you need to do everything, because one side is really doing all the work while you've neglected the other side and it's become sort of, I guess you could say, weak or atrophied. And then I saw the feminine side, when you energize both and you're in balance, that just, I guess, just how alive you actually really are. And that was just something that kind of came to my mind. But all of this has been amazing. It has been very long. It's been a long call, but it's a wonderful call. I mean, it's how do you pack and shorten so much amazing things into anything shorter? So I think it's all perfect timing.
Well, plus I just want to say, there's all the people who are still on the call probably have some miracles they could share, or insights or wisdom or something love has taught them. Like, easily this call could go longer. I just want to say though, Jonathan, maybe what we should ask is, we can ask the community, would it be helpful to have Jonathan share with us just some tips and some wisdom about when you're online or on cyber, like how do you recognize if something's real or not? Just raise your hand if you feel like this in general would be of value to you. You could gain something from it. That's beautiful. Okay, good. I see a lot of people raising their hand. I want to make sure that, oh, good. Even Katie. Oh, so good to see you. And Patricia, I'm so glad that you're, so it's tricky because when I go to gallery view and I see all your faces, I get stuck because I just want to see all your faces. I just love you guys. I love seeing you here. So let's do this. Jonathan, today, instead of giving a lot of the tips, maybe just list off some of the tips that you will give, and then we can have some more dedicated time, either on a call of its own or next Sunday, to make sure that we go into it properly. Because I want our brains to be alert. I want our bodies to be energized. I want to make sure we can actually look at the stuff with you. But can you just list off some of the tips that you will be sharing with us?
Sure. Yeah, I had a 15-slide presentation trying to condense it down because really cybersecurity, it's a very wide and broad area. But some of the things, it's really about awareness. A lot of times what scammers and hackers, what they will do is they want to create a sense of urgency in getting you to do something. There's basically 3 broad categories I would say that they try to fish or get you engaged, get you hooked into them, and that's either the victim, the reward, or the oh, I gotta look at my slides now. Sorry, I had this in a certain order, so I'm a little out of order. There's victim, there's reward, and then there's defendant. So those are the 3 broad kind of silos I would put phishing into. And so it's an idea of how to identify emails and texts and people calling you, things to think about, keywords, key things that you can kind of review and implant in your brain as like a little light bulb. Like when this happens, you're like, oh wait, I may need to slow down. It's kind of like putting that, on a lot of forms and things, before you submit or log in, you have to do that little checkbox saying, I'm not a robot. So these are sort of becoming aware of this. It sort of creates this sense of that checkbox popping up in your mind, like, hang on now, let's take a moment and review. So that's sort of some of the tips and topics I had planned to go over, and specifically looking at examples of text and emails and certain scams that are currently going on, and keyword phrases to just be aware of, as well as on the weekly call. If we want to have a weekly call, I put my email in the chat. I'm also happy. I've been working in IT since 1998, so I know a couple things about computers. And I've been working, just on April 28th of last month was my 2-year anniversary being a volunteer and engaged with this community. I'm mostly behind the scenes. I'm kind of the tech guy. But I'm just happy to help and be of service where I can.
Jonathan, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're I don't know, I feel like you're a backbone, or I don't even know what the right word is, but thank you so much for all you're doing. And I'm looking forward so much. So next week we have something so exciting to look forward to. We're going to go more into depth, and we'll start with next Sunday. And then if we need even longer, we can have a special session about it. But I really think that will be really valuable, especially in light of Jennifer, this beautiful thing that you've brought into our space, and making sure that everyone in our community we love. Now, I want to thank everyone for being on this call, watching live or the recording. Because Durga was mentioned so many times, I have to tell you the story, the legend of it, because I think it applies in this particular case. Actually, maybe Jennifer, do you know this? Do you know the legend or the story of Durga? You probably can share it even better than me. Or do you
Yeah,
want me
no,
to-
I don't know it.
Okay. I think this is so applicable because sometimes when we see things like people becoming a victim, or crimes or stuff, we feel like there's danger in the world, and it may introduce a feeling of fear or insecurity inside of us. Chapter 2 of the book, it shares about a man who he actually was helping people invest in the markets and lost everything, and including his in-law, his wife's parents, all their lives. He lost everything, and when you're in that state, it's hard not to feel some degree of fear or insecurity. And so what are the ancient secrets that can help? Well, one is just understanding that we are creators instead of consumers. And one thing that I love about the story of Durga is Durga. So this is the legend. There was all in this tradition, all the male gods discovered there's this big villain and this like evil demon, this evil god, and they all tried to defeat him and none of them could. None of the male gods could even get close to defeating this. And so finally they gave Durga, they said, please, can you do something? So they gave Durga all her weapons. She has all those arms and she's holding all the weapons and she's riding on this tiger, some cases riding a lion. And she goes in and this divine goddess, this female deity, without even breaking a sweat, defeats this foe so easily. And then all the male gods are like, how did you do that, Durga? How did you do that? We couldn't even touch and you did this so easily. And she says, well, I defeated this demon, this villain, because I saw that it was me. And I thought that was the most beautiful story, because we're talking about the next Buddha is the Sangha, or that we're, as we connect together, all of us are connected, including this man who did this whatever thing, who knows what led him on this path. And as we send love to all parts of us, including all parts that are inside of us, it helps us not come from a place of fear, a place from, even in the Course in Miracles, it says, in my defenselessness is where my safety lies. That used to confuse me so much. And maybe on next call, I'll share a story about that a little bit. But as we send love to everyone, to all the people that are here on the planet at this time, and triggering all kinds of things that allow us, our consciousness to be lifted and awakened, I think there's real power in that story of Durga. So Jennifer, any final thoughts you want to share on today's call before we kind of close this one off?
Wow, well, we're so blessed to have each other, right? When I think the biggest lesson for me was the connection, to really stay connected to the people around me, and to really, take the support and give the support that's offered. Yeah.
Yeah, so beautiful. And I love Jonathan. He says, a question to ponder. We're often appalled by how other people would want to hurt us, but how many times do we hurt ourselves and call it normal? There's just so much wisdom in that, and how much better can we love ourselves? And also one thing, Jennifer, and also Klaas and so many other people, Romarishi, just the gentleness with ourselves at whatever stage we're in. That this exact moment in time is as sacred and magical as any time in the past or any time in the future. And the fact that we're here now in this moment is such a gift. And Jennifer, thank you for bringing that to us.
Thank you.
Beautiful way. I'm going to be in touch with you soon, Jennifer, because I know Brandy wanted us to organize a consultation so we can help you with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So we can have even more miracles happen for you. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'll send you a separate message about that.
Okay.
All right. Beautiful. I see Romarishi's raising his hand. You have some final thoughts, final wisdoms?
Yes. Final thought. Many of us know who Rumi was, a great master. And he said, I belong to no religion. My religion is love. Every heart is my temple. Every heart is my temple, which means all of our hearts are the temple, and we're all connected through love, heart to heart. Namaskar.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Patricia, I know you're not expecting me to put you on the spot, but because you kind of started this whole call, I just kind of want to bring it back to you. What's in your heart as a result of being on this call today? You can unmute yourself, just share any thought or any feedback. Oh, let's see. Oh, there.
Thank you, Dr. Clint and everyone. Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, just pure love. And I am undone, undone, undone. So undone. I don't even know how else to be, but undone with love, and only love. Thank you so much.
Oh, so beautiful. Bettina, I don't know if you're raising your hand to talk or not. I just want to make sure I give you a chance to share if you had anything in your heart you wanted to share. All right. Well, what I'd like to do, I want to thank everyone who's present, either live or listening to the recording, everyone who shared something on the call or just in your hearts. Oftentimes we'll do breakout rooms. This time we won't do a breakout room, but we'll definitely end with the tradition that we started where you just rub your hands together. You can unmute yourself. Actually, I can invite everyone to unmute yourself. Let's see here. Invite. There we go.
There I am.
There we go. Okay, you can rub your hands together. Unmute yourself.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
I'm with you. Love you and I'm with you. Love you and I'm with you.
Love Sarah Jane.
I'm with you all.
Love you and I'm with you. Love you and I'm with you. Love you and I'm with you. Love you and I'm with
Love
you.
you and with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
That is so beautiful. I love you and I'm with you. This birthday week, we got so many things coming up. If you can join on Tuesday for the brainstorming call for the Goddess Love Project, that's at 7 a.m. Pacific, at 10 a.m. Same Zoom link. Wednesday, we have that global broadcast with Lee Carroll and Cryon all through the week, becoming a part of the 1008 Global Contagious Healing Birthday Miracle. I mean, it's so nice to have something where you can feel so confident that you give someone a gift and it's going to bless their life. So take a picture, send that picture to, actually, we should have put the email address at the beginning, but staff@myancientsecrets.com. We'll make sure we send it out as email as well. And when you send the picture, also send your email address and their email address, and both of you will get tickets, free tickets to the June 1st and 2nd. So it's about a $97 value. So it's like $200 for giving the gift, taking the picture and send it. I want to have 1,008 pictures, and then we'll have a special video about that. And so many other things are happening. I just want to say thank you for being you, for being amazing, for joining this call, for letting love guide you. And I love you and I'm with you. Namaskar. And thank you, Dr. Naram, for being born. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the gift of your life and your devotion, and that we can celebrate you, whether you're in the body or not, and that we can feel you so much with us. I love you, Dr. Naram. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.